Hey everybody, I'm Bill, the Hill Country Prepper. This is just going to be a vlog, I guess, about how my day went. Got a lot done today. It was a long day, but so here's what's going on. Got up this morning, and today was the day to work on the Jeep. You can see it over there. I got a lot of things. I got a long list of to-do items on that Jeep. Quick story. I've got a leak on my transmission cooling line. So silly me, I took it over to the dealership up the road about 20-30 minutes and let them have a look at it. It's a repair I can do. It's a repair I don't want to do. But anyway, so I took it over there to them, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to charge me maybe a couple $100, maybe $300 to replace the transmission cooling lines. What it is, if you're familiar with the Jeep Wrangler, they're notorious for having transmission cooling line leaks up near the cooler, where they've got these rubber hoses and they've got these real cheesy funnels, I think is what they're called. They leak. They notoriously leak. Jeep's got about 70,000, maybe 75,000 miles on it, so yeah, they leak. There's a quick repair you can do on it. I would just assume order the parts, and I know how much the parts how much they cost. I've looked into them. About $120. I'll just tell you that right now. So I took it up to the dealership, left it with them. Actually dropped it off on a Friday, thinking they'd look at it that day and get back to me. Well, they didn't get back to me. They kept it over the weekend. I was really surprised. Most dealerships won't keep a vehicle over the weekend, but they kept it over the weekend. So they finally they called me on Monday, and they said it might be Monday, you know, because they're really backed up and everything. Okay, that's fine. It's not my everyday driver anyway, so no big deal. So they called me on Monday, and they had a laundry list of things that needed to be repaired. Has that ever happened to you? Yeah. So anyway, they had this long list of things. I'll just break it down for you real quick, as best as I can remember. I know they told me to replace the cooling lines was going to cost $800. Now I know the parts for this, the cooling line replacement parts, cost about $120, $130 in parts only. And I'm like, what? You want how much? And they said, well, yeah, you know, there's two lines. And I said, yeah, I know how the system works. Why does it cost so much? These parts only cost $130. You know, 160, I think, if you buy from Mopar, right? Well, no, you know, you got the one line that cost 157, and the other one I think cost like 189, and then, you know, we got the shop labor and all that, so it's going to be about it's just under $800, and that's without tax and everything else added onto it. So I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. He says, well, you know, while we had it up on the rack, we found some other things. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, what? So they come back and they say, well, you know, you got a head gasket leak. Okay, I got a head gasket leak. All right. And he rattled off some. I wrote down the parts. I got them on a notepad, but I don't have it with me. So I got a head gasket leak. Okay. Well, what else? Well, you got a leak on your oil pan. And he rattled off some parts for that. And I'm like, geez, really? And then something else, I can't remember what it was leaking. When it was all said and done, and I had the guy on the phone, and we tallied it up real quick, it would have cost me $3,600 to get everything fixed on that Jeep. I said, nah, brother, you know, I can do the repair for the cooling line myself. I think I can probably replace the gasket on the oil pan myself. That other stuff, the head gasket, I don't know. I might have to look into that. we'll see, you know, differential. I don't know what else was up, but it's $3,600. I said, I tell you what, if you would top off the ATF, the transmission fluid, and I'll come pick it up. I'll be there in 15 minutes. He said, sure, no problem. Take care of it for you. And they did it. They topped off the transmission fluid at no cost. So I appreciate that for them. You know, I was really surprised. I figured they were going to charge me about $15 a quart, like most of them do. But they topped it off. Okay, great. I appreciate that. So I went and picked it up. So I went to go and look last night, just to kind of, I crawled underneath it just to see what the hell was going on. I'll tell you what, I'll walk over there and just show you what I'm talking about. What you doing, cat? So, it turned out to be a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. When I got up underneath there, and you're going to have a hard time seeing it, but I took off that cover that goes right there that covers up the torque converter, because it was dripping, and I've got a pan here because it's leaking like a frickin' sieve. So, I take that off, and it's all full of transmission fluid. And I look up under there, and yeah, my seal's leaking on the oil pan. I went and I opened up the hood. Yeah, I got a lot of seals to replace, but I'll have to get to those later. I'll tell you one thing I did do. So like I was saying, this morning I got up bright and early because I'd got underneath the Jeep here. I'm standing here beside the Jeep right now, you can see. So I got up underneath there and I went and I took off that cover. And if you're familiar with the Jeep Wrangler, where the transmission mounts up to the engine block, where that torque converter is, there's a plate, there's a cover. So I got up there last night with some sockets and some box wrenches and tried to take that off. I was out here for a frickin' hour. I'm not exaggerating. In fact, the wife, when I went in, she goes, "What the hell you been doing?" I said, "I was taking it anyway." So this morning I get up bright and early because I need to get some better tools. Unfortunately, you think I'd have them being as old as I am, but I don't. So I went down to the Lowe's about 8 o'clock this morning. And no, I did not wear a mask, by the way. So I go in there, and what I had to get was some socket swivel joints. So I figured while I'm there, I'm going to get every swivel joint that I need. So I got the 1/4 inch drive, I got the 3/8 inch drive, and I got the 1/2 inch drive, and got everything that I need. Also got a hose bib spigot because my water catchment system over here, the hose bib faucet wasn't working. It wouldn't shut off, so the water just kept running. I'll get into more on that later. So anyway, so I come back and I've got the tools that I need. So I pull the Jeep in the garage and get all my tools out, and I crawl up under there and take the cover off again. And yeah, I had thought maybe, because I'd done some research on it, and I thought maybe that the guys had overfilled the transmission fluid and it was just coming out through the weep hole that's in there, and that's what it was. So I came out and I started the Jeep up and let it warm up, and I checked the transmission fluid level, and it's not overfilled. So I do think I've got a leaking seal in the torque converter, and I can't fix that. I can't do that myself. I don't have the means to lift this Jeep up and drop the transmission out and everything, because that's a big deal. That is a big deal. You got to remove the drivetrain. You've got to remove all the O2 sensors. It's just a big frickin' job, and I don't have the time or the tools or the facility to do that, so I'm going to have to take that into a repair shop. I am not taking it to the dealership and paying $2,000 to have them do it. I'll have somebody down here local, one of the local garages, do that after I shop around and see what their prices are. So anyway, put that all back together, looked up and said, yeah, I do got a leak on my oil pan. I can fix that. That's going to probably cost me 50, 60 bucks in parts. I can do that myself. That's not going to be that big a deal. The head gasket leak that's in here, I can't do that myself. Too much going on under the hood. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be leaking that bad. I might be able to get away with that for a little while longer. We'll worry about that later. But while I was out here, you guys might have seen my earlier video where I'd put on that X2O 10,000 pound winch on the front of the Jeep, and I bought a cover for it. Now I had mounted the control panel, the control box, in the center of the winch, and I tried, let me tell you, I tried to make a video of me relocating that, but it is the Smittybilt products that I have on my Jeep. They're good products. I'm going to tell you that right off. They are good products, but they're just god-awful hard to work with, okay? And what I had happen was when I mounted that control box up in the center of the winch, the electrical leads that go out of the control panel, they're up against the grill of the Jeep, and it is just, you couldn't get anything between it. You couldn't even get your fingers in between it here. So what I had to do, I had to relocate the control panel, and to do that I had to take off the front grill cover here. If you guys are familiar with the Jeep, this is the grill cover, and that's the part that has the 7 openings in the front. And here's a question for you. If you know what these 7 openings represent, leave me a comment down below. Let me see how much you know about Jeeps. Anyway, I had to remove this, and I was going to do a video on it, and it's so hard to do holding the phone, and my language really comes out when I work on the Jeep, and I was dropping the F's and the MF's and all the other words that you're not supposed to say on the YouTube. So I didn't make a video. I tried, I started it, and I might run some B-roll here and kind of show you how it kind of started. But anyway, what I was able to do, not on camera, was get my cover installed. So you can see here I've got the cover finally installed. This is a Smittybilt X2O cover. This is one that's designed for this winch. Now it does come with some tie downs. I'll tell you right now, they ain't worth a crap. So I just pulled those right out, stuck them in a bag in my toolbox, and I'll find some use for them for something else. But what I did, when I put the cover on right here, I got some bungee cords down here, and I just kind of looped them underneath and strapped them up. Works real well. This girl ain't coming off. She's on there tight. But anyway, it looks good. You may notice I do have my license plate off. Now if you saw that video where I did the bracket for the license plate cover, I have that off here right now, because what I did, as I told you in that video, is I was going to paint it. And I also mentioned I was going to go get some shorter machine screws to make it look a little bit better. So that's what I did. I took it off and I painted it, and hang on, I'll show you what that looks like. Here's my painted bracket. It's just been painted for a couple hours, so it's dry to the touch. It looks pretty good. It's black. I think it's going to match the rest of the Jeep. We can walk over here and I'll show you guys, and you can kind of tell me what you think. Got our bags of mulch because we're mulching all our flower beds right now. But that's going to lay up in there. Yeah, I think after it gets weathered, it's going to look okay. But anyway, just need that to finish drying, and I'll install that tomorrow, and we'll see what that looks like. But anyway, got that done. There's another shot of that winch cover I was talking about. So I'm going to get that bracket put on again tomorrow, get that license plate mounted, and out here having a cocktail, and the damn little gnats keep landing in it. I guess at least they're dying happy. Let me dig those out. That's one happy bug. Alright, sorry about that. Had to get that taken care of before I got any further down the road with this. Anyway, so I had to go back to the Home Depot again this afternoon, because when I bought that that hose bib spigot for the rain catchment I got over there, had to go back to Home Depot this afternoon. I don't know, about 2:30, 3 o'clock. That place was jam-packed, and no, I didn't wear my mask again. Anyway, took the wife with me. We were able to get the bolts I needed for the license plate. Remember, I wanted to get those 3/4 inch, so I was able to pick those up. Got the I'd bought the wrong hose bib part. I'd bought a 1/2 inch, and I needed a 3/4. So I should have known. It's written on the damn thing. If I would have just looked, I would have known what size I needed to get. So anyway, I had to go back and get that. I knew where they were, so I walked right in and got it. No big deal. We got the bolts that I needed, so that was all good. And so we came back. But man, I could not believe how busy the traffic was when I drove into town. I don't know what the hell's going on, but there was a lot going on. Speaking about things that are going on, I saw. Actually, the wife had told me when I came in for dinner this evening that there had been some going on in Washington, D.C., where supposedly a suspect had crashed through a barricade, jumped out of his car wielding a knife, and had unfortunately stabbed one of the D.C. police, and unfortunately had killed this officer, and that's just terrible. Apparently, this was a 25-year-old black man, and the rumor is, and according to what was on his Facebook page, which has since been taken down, this was a Nation of Islam follower, or at least he was in agreement with the ideology of Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. And you know what? It got me to thinking, had this been a 25-year-old white guy wearing a MAGA hat, the roundup would have already begun. We would already have police in the neighborhoods rounding up people. But because it was a black guy, Nation of Islam, oh, if you read the mainstream media, there's no talk about it. Under investigation, suspect. Fortunately, the D.C. police that were there were able to neutralize the threat, if you will. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. That's not what this video is about. Just want to kind of talk about what I had going on today. A lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of work to do on the Jeep. I did order the transmission cooling lines on the 22nd of March. They haven't shipped yet, and I don't know if this is because of what had happened over in the Suez Canal with the container ship, the Ever Given. That's since been freed up, but I do know that there is a major backlog of container ships arriving into the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. And that's been a problem that's been going on for quite a few weeks, quite a few months, actually. At one point, there were up to 40 vessels, 40 container ships waiting to come in. I guess what's causing all this is because of the lockdown, of the COVID and all that, that more people are ordering online. I know I order a lot of stuff online. You probably order a lot of stuff online. Well, anyway, they can't get the ships in fast enough, and part of what's causing the delay is that they offload the loaded containers and then they reload them with empty containers because there's a major shortage of shipping containers. So they load up the empties and they take those back to China and reload them, and that's like unprecedented because, you know, it used to be 5-10 years ago you could buy a shipping container. They were stacked up in the U.S. ports, and you could buy one for $1,000, maybe $1,500 for a 40-foot unit, and I mean the ones with the 9-foot ceilings. I don't think you can do that anymore. But anyway, what a mess. So if you're ordering anything online, it's probably going to be delayed. I don't know when my transmission cooling lines are going to come in. I do need to order the gaskets and the parts for the oil pan. I can fix that. I will fix that. Need to wait for my transmission cooling lines to come in. I can pop those in. I did buy the little tool. I will make a video on that when I do get that in. That's a quick and easy fix. That might take me an hour. I say that, right? It'll be an afternoon most likely. But I'll get that done. I'll fix the oil pan gasket. That's an easy fix. The other stuff I'm just going to have to look to see if I can find somebody else to do the work for me. Anyway, guys, just want to do something different. This is the video. This is just a quick vlog. Hope you guys have a great Easter. Remember what it's about. You know, Easter is a special time of the year, and I just want to say this. I find it interesting, and I don't understand why, but a lot of the holidays that we celebrate, like Easter, and Easter, the reason behind it, I get it. It's the risen Lord. We are all thankful for that. We are all thankful for that. But you know, it is a man-made holiday, just like Christmas and all these other church holidays that they have. And I got to wonder, and I said, why don't the major mainstream religions, why don't they celebrate the holy days that were mentioned in the Bible? The Feast of Tabernacles. Why do I just wonder. I just wonder, and they don't. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's like a Jewish thing. It doesn't make any sense to me. But you would think that if you were a true believer and you read your Bible and you understood the Bible, that you would be adhering to the holidays that Yahweh lined out for us, and that's what we'd be paying attention to instead of the Roman Catholic holidays that are out there right now, and they've just been so commercialized. It's really pitiful. It really is. But anyway, I don't want to get on a rant on that. Just wanted to mention it out there for you guys to think about. Anyway, I'm going long on this. Guys, have a blessed Easter. Love you all. Hill Country Prepper. Thanks.